this is Genevie.
This is Brock.
And this is Leslie. Welcome to Las Vegas Weekly's Second Helping podcast, where we're all about the delicious food and restaurant scene here in Las Vegas. You can listen to our show every month at the same place you can find all of our Vegas dining coverage. It's all at lasvegasweekly.com.
So the holidays are here, and no matter what your traditions are or how you're celebrating this year, it's very likely you're going to be gathering with friends and or family a few times in the coming weeks for a fantastic feast. And if you're doing it in Las Vegas, we are here to help. Don't worry, we're not going to be giving you any terrible cooking tips from our own kitchen misadventures. And we didn't pester the great chefs of Las Vegas to figure out the best turkey preparation methods. No, we are going to give you some essential Vegas restaurants for your big holiday meal, places that will keep you in good spirits and great food. Leslie, what are your picks?
My first pick is Emeril's New Orleans Fish House at MGM because I just feel like it's comfort food at its absolute finest. I mean, who doesn't want a Louisiana-style Christmas? I know I do. They have a $36 flat iron steak that is just amazing and super affordable, and they have a Creole seared Atlantic salmon that I also think is really perfect for the holidays. They haven't come out with a specific Christmas menu, but I don't think you even need one. The desserts are where things really get festive. Emeril's is known for the banana cream pie, but I personally think the warm pecan praline cake and the bread and butter bread pudding are to die for, and they really encapsulate that festive, warm feeling. My second pick is Flora by Hubert Keller. When I think of Christmas meals, I think of really hearty, rustic, warm dishes. So French onion soup, for one, is a really comfy winter treat. And then there's braised lamb shank, duck confit with butternut squash and Brussels sprouts, polenta with roasted mushrooms, and a lot more. Another thing I really love about Chef Keller's menu is that there are a handful of gluten-free and vegetarian options. So there's kind of something for everyone on his menu.
I might want to go to both of those more than my own. You just talked me out of my own choices.
That's what I'm here for.
No, my first spot is Sage at Aria, which is obviously a beautiful restaurant with great food, but the reason that I'm into it right now is that winter really makes me think of braises, classic dishes of slow-cooked meats and vegetables that warm you up and make you feel sleepy and happy. I'm all about that around this time of year. And Sage does those kinds of dishes really well. They do a perfect braised beef short rib with red wine reduction, served with fennel potato puree and mushrooms, and they also do veal cheeks with spätzle and roasted turnips. Leslie, we were just talking about braised short ribs and how that is like, when you get that right on the money, it's the best thing ever, but it doesn't always happen, and sometimes it goes wrong, and then you don't want anything to do with it at all.
Yeah, and I'm kind of on the fence with short rib. If it's like in a ravioli or something like that, like it's bound to be delicious, but I'm nervous to order it on its own because I have had it messed up before, and it was like kind of inedible. But then I've had it amazing where it's like, oh my God, I wish it were like this every single time. So fingers crossed that, at Sage, I'm sure it'll be fantastic.
You're safe at Sage. You're in good hands. I also like to choose where I eat during the holidays based on the decorations in the casino, how festive everything is. And I just visited Aria a few days ago where they have set up a life-size gingerbread house in the lobby. It's sort of a pop-up expansion of the patisserie there. So you can pose for a selfie with a giant gingerbread man. You can marvel at the actual peppermint tiles on the roof. And you can buy some stocking stuffer treats while you're there. Good job, Aria. You guys nailed it this year. Great decorations.
Can you lick the peppermint tiles? That's what I would do.
I mean, I don't even want to answer that. I did ask the person who was working at the counter of the little kind of pop-up candy shop if she's had to chase anybody off that was trying to eat any part of the house so far.
They're like, she was 5'3", brown hair.
Wynn, Las Vegas, is decorated in a festive manner year-round, and I love to visit during the holidays and roam the casino and pop into different lounges and restaurants. All the food at Wynn is great, but this year I plan to go back to Wing Lei for dinner at some point. It's still one of the best Chinese restaurants in the country, And it's definitely a place where you can go big with live seafood or the signature chef's menu, which also has braised short rib on the menu as a kind of the grand finale. But I've got my eyes on the Peking duck tasting menu, which is 5 courses of duck. I don't think the dessert has any duck in it, but if it did, I would still eat it. And I would probably be very sleepy and happy afterwards. Genevie, you picked a handful of great restaurants all over the valley with kind of a low to high spectrum for holiday dining and wrote about them for an upcoming issue of Las Vegas Weekly. So we'll have to check that out in a few weeks. Everybody keep an eye out. And since the holidays are all about family as much as they are about food, you found a Las Vegas family that will be together for the season because they're always together, even when they're at work.
Yeah, so I recently learned about this family that has a very unique situation at Milos Estiatorio at the Cosmopolitan. The executive chef there, Jesse Maldonado, has 3 of his family members working with him. His father, Jose de Jesus, who is the lead prep cook and receiver, his brother, Jose, who is the executive sous chef, and his sister, Sonia, who is a busser. The family moved here from Miami to work at Milos. I found this family really interesting. I mean, to work that closely with your family, you must really like each other, right? I mean, I don't know if you guys can do it.
I could never do that.
No thanks.
Well, I sat down with this family and found them to be warm and funny and completely devoted to their jobs and to each other. I think it also says a lot about Milos as a company to encourage family members to work in the same restaurant. Here's an excerpt of our conversation. We'll just go around and just kind of like say your name and like your position. Okay, so we'll just pass that around.
I'm Jesse Maldonado. I'm the head chef of Milos Las Vegas. Second brother out of 3. And girls one.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm Sonia Chavez Cortez, and I'm working Milos like a bosser, and I'm the oldest sister.
I'm DJ Jose Omar. I'm the last of the brothers, and I work in Milos Las Vegas like sous chef. En español.
Hola, soy José Chávez. Soy de Milos Las Vegas. Soy preparador.
He's the main prep receiver from Milos.
Okay, great. So how many brothers and sisters do you have? Just the 3? Okay.
Just the 3 of us. All you're missing is my mom.
Okay. Your mom doesn't want a job here? So what is it like working so closely with family members?
We have been working together for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can tell you, like probably, I don't know, 10, 12 years, like together like this. So it's not that hard when especially everyone knows the role. For me being like their boss, it's not that complicated, you know. We all treat each other with respect from home or here at work, so it's not that hard just to keep that harmony that we have already at home, just to bring it at work. So I feel like that's also something that has been working well with us. Having that good relationship at home is being make it easier for us to be together at work.
Do you live together? No. Different?
No.
Okay.
No.
Does that help? No.
we work together, but we don't live together.
Okay.
It's enough. Nah, I'm just kidding.
So you're the oldest, right?
No.
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest.
She's
Okay, so what is it like being told what to do by your little brother?
No, that's good.
It's good?
Yeah. I'm really happy. So the thing is, I don't have like too much. How can I say it?
interaction.
Yeah, because I'm working the front of the house and they are the kitchen. So that's really nice working together. Yeah.
And how about you?
It's not that hard, to be honest. Like, it's easy for me to work with him, especially he's my boss. So I'm learning a lot from him, and I follow the steps just behind him. Like, it's not really really complicated for us to be on the same page every day. Yeah.
¿Cómo es trabajar juntos como familia?
Para trabajar juntos como familia el trabajo lo sentimos como familiar, para poder atender a la comida de todos los días y estar al pendiente de lo que se ocupa en la cocina.
It's like you say that it's to be at work is like being in family though. Mm-hmm. It's already being in family, so it's not that complicated to just follow each other at work.
Yeah. So on the weekends, since you don't live in the same place, do you get together and like cook at home? Never?
We have different schedules. So.
Yeah.
Never that time.
Yeah.
We get together in special occasions. It's actually complicated for us, you know. For us working in the kitchen, me being like the head chef and he's being like the second one. I mean, it's really hard for us being off from work at the same time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but when we have like a special occasion or whatever that we have the opportunity, we like to be together as a family. Like we spend a lot of time together as a family.
That's great. That's great. So when some conflicts come up at work, so do you ever work the same shift?
We always work the same shift.
Always work the same shift. So when conflicts come up at work, how does your dynamic as a family like come into play? Like how do you like resolve issues? Like do you resolve it like you would if you were like at home? Like no, totally different?
We have very clear what it's a family and what it's work.
Yeah.
And again, we have learned this in a long way. When I have to address something to them, they understand that it's work related, you know. Once we literally clock out or just leave the restaurant, I mean, we became family. And same thing the other way around. If it's something that it happens in a personal matter or in a personal life, we try to keep it out there and not let it be affect us at work.
That's really smart philosophy as far as keeping that separation. Yeah.
It's hard though. Mm-hmm. You learn it the hard way.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but eventually that's what it's been like also making it easier for us as a family and as a co-workers. Mm-hmm. Because it's just a few people probably in the world that can say this, but I'm really glad to work with my family, that we get along together and we get along very well. That, I mean, I couldn't trust anyone better than my dad to watch my back in the prep. Or my brother, when I'm not here, like he would treat this place the way how I treat it, and he would like respect it and protect it, you know. I don't want this place to fail because my entire family lives out of this place. So I want this place to succeed so we can actually be better.
Yeah. So how does it, like, working with other people, do you consider like your staff at Milos kind of like your second family as far as
because the amount of time like we spend in here, it's kind of like we spend more time in the restaurant than with our families. So basically we work like between 12 to 13 hours a day. So sometimes 5 days, sometimes 6 days, sometimes the whole week. So we spend more time in here. So we try to get like in that point to spend all the time with this, you know, the person that we work with us. So like looking at like kind of like family, a part of our family.
You get to know them very like so well that it's like when your sister show up and she's in a bad mood, you already know. So same thing with the co-workers, you know, like you see him crossing the door, like, oh my god, she's not smiling today, something happened. So that's how we get. I mean, it's spending time with the people.
Why don't you be So the holidays are a time for family, and dealing with that much family also means alcohol. During the holiday season, I'm a big fan of mulled wine, spiked hot chocolate, coffee with Baileys, and of course, eggnog.
Eggnog is one of the things I love about the holidays too. I don't even care if there's alcohol in it or not. I'll even go to Starbucks and order their eggnog latte, even though I totally make fun of those PSL fanatics. To me, the smell of nutmeg just signals the holidays, and I love the creaminess of the nog. It's cold comfort through and through. Brock, so tell us how you feel about eggnog.
I have mixed feelings about eggnog. I want to like eggnog because it does have all those seasonings that are associated with like holiday baking, and I want my house to smell like that. That sounds good, and I love the idea of a hot boozy drink for the holidays. But There's something about the texture of eggnog that is off-putting to me, and I just can't seem to get over that. I think it's the egg part.
That's why I was saying earlier when we were talking about this, have you tried vegan eggnog, which you can just buy at the store in a carton? It's really good. Like they make like almond milk eggnogs.
That sounds good.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
you don't have to deal with the eggs, and it honestly tastes the same.
Is
Right,
it
you
really
get-
nog, though, without the egg? Am I cheating?
Probably. But you get the spices, and you get the nutmeg and the cinnamon.
And you can put booze in it.
Right.
Well, yeah, of course. What are we talking about?
Well, maybe you should go to NoMad bar or restaurant where bar director Leo Robitschek has an amazing eggnog recipe that will be available there during this holiday season. It's called Not Your Mama's Nog, and it's got rum, cognac, scotch, egg, cream, nutmeg, and cinnamon. I can't wait to try it. Meanwhile, I recently sat down with Leo and asked him for some tips on how to throw a fabulous holiday cocktail party. Take a listen. So we don't have, your traditional seasons. And do you do anything like seasonal?
Yeah, all of our
and
other-
how do you invoke seasons in Las Vegas? Right?
All of our other properties are really heavily focused on seasonality, and it's because they both have amazing produce growing regions right around them. In Vegas, we're doing it more like 2 seasons a year, basically, the changes. So it's really, spring, summer, winter, fall, or fall, winter. But for me, seasonality isn't only based on the ingredients that you're consuming. It doesn't have to be with only this berry grows during this time or this sort of citrus grows during this time. It's also how it evokes sense memories per se. So I think a lot of times in the fall you drink things that remind you of the holidays, whatever that holiday is to you, or you drink things that remind you of doing things with your parents whenever you grew up, no matter where. So you think of more warming drinks, when that season starts changing and becoming a little cooler. And then in the summer and spring, you sort of drink things that spring is very herb forward and sort of the new growth and a little bit lighter. And then summer tends to be, more citrus based and fun and beachy in that way. So that part's really easy because everyone sort of comes to Vegas. Besides the locals that live here, most people come to Vegas either for work or for vacation. So it's about maybe making some of these drinks that they would experience during that time somewhere else, but through a Vegas lens.
Right.
And then we work with the kitchen a lot, and they do use some seasonal ingredients that may not grow here per se, but we still, in the summer, use corn and tomatoes, and in the winter use squashes and apples and game. So you could still evoke it through that as well.
Speaking of holidays, do you have, if I were throwing a Christmas party or a cocktail party over the holidays, do you have any tips on what to do that or how to do that?
I would say 2 things. For parties, prep is everything. Because you don't want to get stuck behind a bar making every single person a drink. So what I usually do is 2 or 3 batch cocktails. So if it's the holidays, something that we're pretty known for is our eggnog. We actually make really good eggnog from scratch, which we'll have here for the fall. And that's always a hit in a party. It's usually one of those things that everyone's I don't drink eggnog. And then it's the first thing that goes. And then another thing that I like doing is I like doing stirred cocktails because they get sit easier. So I'll make a massive batch of Negronis or a massive batch of Manhattans and just have those that people could pour in their cup and stir it up. When it comes to citrus drinks, you could always do a punch. But yeah, for me, it's always about preparing something ahead of time and having it there so people can serve themselves. So it's not... you have a party because you want to spend time with the people that you love and you want to invest in them.
Right.
So being stuck behind a bar, and I've learned this the hard way, is not the best way to do that.
This episode of Las Vegas Weekly's Second Helping podcast is brought to you by Westgate Las Vegas, home of the multiple award-winning Edge Steakhouse, which has consistently been rated the top steakhouse in Las Vegas on TripAdvisor and recently won Silver State Awards for Chef Steve Young as Rising Star and Best Executive Chef. The experience at Edge is all about blending traditional American steakhouse favorites with an exciting array of specialty appetizers, creative entrees, and innovative side dishes. The best way to get a true taste of what Chef Steve is doing here is to experience the 6-course tasting menu. Some of the courses are small individual dishes and some are served family style, but you're going to get closer to 15 different dishes from the kitchen, and they're all memorable and unique. My favorites are the Spanish octopus carpaccio and the incredible Wagyu beef tartare. You might assume Westgate Steakhouse would be a totally old school experience because it's such a classic resort, but you will be surprised and thrilled when you taste this food. It's modern and classic, and it's a must-try. Make your reservation for Edge Steakhouse right now at westgateresorts.com and visit this podcast page at lasvegasweekly.com because I'm going to post a link and tell you exactly where to go to find out more. This episode is also brought to you by Italy Las Vegas, which is helping you celebrate like an Italian this holiday season, whether you're a local or a Vegas visitor. If you've been looking for a reason to visit or revisit this incredible food marketplace, you can enjoy the very best of what it offers for the next couple of weeks at a remarkably low price, thanks to Restaurant Fest at Italy Las Vegas at Park MGM. Both full-service sit-down restaurants, Monzo and La Pizza y La Pasta, are offering special 2-course menus from December 9th through the 22nd. You'll get to choose from handmade pastas, Neapolitan pizzas, salads with seasonal ingredients, and Monzo's wood-fired, butcher shop-inspired specialties, and build your own custom meal. And get this, it's $18 at La Pizza y La Pasta and $38 at Monzo. You do not want to miss this offer, and there's an extensive selection of $25 bottles of wine at both venues. Locals, I know you're listening. I know you've been thinking about checking this place out for a long time, and now is your chance. For more info, go to italy.com/Las Vegas and check out those Restaurant Fest menus. I'll see you there.
It's time to wrap up this episode with the best things we ate this month. Last week, celebrity chef Bobby Flay was in town to celebrate the 15th anniversary of Mesa Grill. It was a pretty nice shindig with Bobby honoring some of the employees who have been with the now iconic restaurant since day one. There's a special anniversary menu at Mesa Grill, by the way, at Caesars that will be available to the end of the year, so check it out. Well, a couple of days later, the chef threw a really nice dinner at Shark, his restaurant at the Palms. I've been to Shark before, and while the menu has plenty of standouts, I'm really crazy about the cauliflower tacos, which is made with house-made blue corn tortillas. At the dinner last week that he threw, one of the dishes was a variation of the same taco, but with eggplant. It was so delicious that I'm still thinking about it. I'll definitely be back for that and the cauliflower as well. How about you, Brock?
I didn't eat out a whole lot in November. I think maybe I was saving it up for this month, but the most memorably delicious thing I ate was pizza at the Sand Dollar Lounge. So you may or may not know this, but there's a holiday cocktail pop-up called Miracle, and it has taken over the Sand Dollar Lounge on Spring Mountain Road for the entire month of December. They've replaced their entire cocktail menu with these very festive Christmassy drinks, and there is some way over-the-top decor in there, very kitschy and fun, and very Vegas, too. It's basically a completely different, crazy place for the holiday season. And I went to sample some of those cocktails before they set it all up, and just had to indulge in some of the great pizza they've been making from that tiny corner kitchen in the bar. I think the one you need to order is called the Little Red Rooster. It's basically spicy garlic chicken and all kinds of veggies on a really good, thin, and crisp crust. And I can't wait to eat it again. It will go great with the Snowball Old Fashioned they're serving, which has caramelized pecan bourbon. How good does that sound? And you two can drink the Jingle Balls Nog.
I was just waiting for you to say that. That sounds awesome.
There's egg in it. There is egg in that Nog.
This month I was all about the chicken sandwiches. I had the fried chicken sandwich at Able Baker, which is definitely my new favorite bar and brewery on Main Street. The people who are running the food are the same folks behind 595 Craft and Kitchen. And the quality is just great, and just about everything on the menu pairs really well with one of Able Baker's craft brews, including my favorite, which is the barrel-aged Brett Saison called Swimming with Debris. And if you don't want to shell out the money for, a chicken sandwich at Able Baker, you can try the Popeye sandwich, which I actually got my hands on. There was no line. Actually, there was maybe like 10 minutes in the drive-thru, but still not that bad. And for like $4.45 and change, it was really good. So thumbs up to Popeyes, and if you haven't had it, I definitely recommend it.
I haven't had it.
I agree 100%. It's delicious.
Yes.
Oh, I guess I have to go try it then. Can you get a side of red beans and rice with your chicken sandwich?
You
Sure.
absolutely can. I would recommend it, although I didn't. I don't know why, they list the calorie counts on the drive-thru menu, and I went thinking I'm going to get rice and beans with my chicken sandwich, and I shamed myself out of that decision. Thanks for listening to this very festive episode of Second Helping. Please subscribe at Apple Podcasts, and don't forget, you can also listen and subscribe at Las Vegas Weekly's YouTube page. We want to thank the rest of the team at Las Vegas Weekly for supporting us in this first year of Second Helping, and another special thanks to Sonia Barcelona for contributing her song Violent Water to use as our theme music. Listen to more of her music at artofsonia.com. We'll be back in 2020. See you then.